This is an R Media podcast. This episode is supported by Vixen, Australian-made skincare powered by plant cell technology and designed to bring real simplicity back to skincare. This episode is made in partnership with Wounded Heroes Australia, the only 24-hour, 7-day-a-week crisis service that helps veterans and their families in their hardest moments. Hey, Kel. Just calling to say a big old yes to coming to Andy's 60th. Please let me know what I can bring. I've also been thinking about you because I just had a fabulous chat with Miranda Tapsell and her mum, Barbara, and we were talking about the concept of how family does not stop at your front door, and that really is what you are to me. And anyway, just wanted to let you know that. I will see you on Saturday, and until then, I love you. Bye. You know how people can tell you stories about someone in their life, someone you've never met, and they become almost mythical in your mind? You'll hear tales about these incredible things that they've achieved, or the wise words they've given, or the really funny things they've said or done. And this person becomes an elusive creature that you do almost anything to one day meet. I feel like that's who Barbara Tapsell has become to me. I've met her daughter, Miranda, so many times over the years, and every time we sit down to chat, she gives me with a little nugget about her mum, which has always left me thinking how fabulous she must be and how I'd really love to meet her one day. Well, my friends, you're about to share that experience with me because today I'm honoured to have both Miranda and Barbara join me here on the couch to talk about how love has shaped each of their lives in ways both big and small. How love has held them up when they've needed it most, how it's traversed time and long distance and helped them navigate the wider world. And how, now that Miranda is a mum of two herself, they're passing those love lessons on to a new generation. So strap in for what I'm sure is going to be an incredible conversation. And a heads up, we've got so much to talk about. We're going to do this in 2 parts.
We were looking for a rental for the two of us to live in. And Mum was like, you need to put your Sunday best on. You need to wear perfume. You need to wear makeup. And Mum was like, you don't understand. If you want to rent in Sydney, you absolutely have to look like you're not going to trash the place. Also, not only are you black, you're a student.
Yeah. I'm Tiffany Dunk from the Australian Women's Weekly, and this is Love Stories. Miranda and Barbara, thank you so much for joining me here on our Love Stories couch.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Very, very welcome. We always talk about love language these days and what is our specific kinds of love language. Do either of you have a love language that you particularly resonate with?
Mum definitely has a love language and hers is acts of service.
Okay.
And I think that's to her detriment sometimes. She can often burn out really quickly, burn the candle at both ends because
I'm saying it all the time.
No, but also you just don't know when to stop. It's just like, okay, now it's time to sit down, Barbara. Just have your cup of tea. It's gone cold, for goodness sake. So, and I think I'm as the only child with no other sibling to hide behind. It has to often be me saying to Dad, hey, this is how Mum shows you that she loves you. So, it's not enough just to say thank you. You've got to find your own version of saying that to her, you know what I mean? Yeah. And sometimes that might require, washing your cereal bowl up. And not just leave it in the sink,
right. And how's he going with that these days, Barbara?
Because I'm the eldest of 8 children.
Yes.
And he's the middle child.
Right.
So he's one of 12. And he comes out at number 8. So, of course, I'm going to be the one, you know, giving the orders and the eighth person.
Yeah.
Every middle and youngest child will hate this. Hate this episode.
Not at all. And what's your own love language then, Miranda, as the only child? How does that fit out for you?
I do love presents.
Mm-hmm.
I do love like giving presents, and I do love receiving presents.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the best gift that Miranda has bought for you, Barbara?
A beautiful set of earrings and a little matching blue birthstone.
Oh,
That was beautiful.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And then like the Mother's Day cards are beautiful from her.
Yeah.
Very special.
Oh. Well, I was going to ask, now that you're a mum yourself as well, is it true that mother always knows best?
Yes. 100%. 100%. I've learnt not to say I told you so to my husband. No, he's often right too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, Barbara, you mentioned earlier growing up you were the oldest of 8 kids.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about growing up and what love looked like for you as a young girl.
Well, when you grow up in with a big family and you're the eldest, you're expected to do lots of things, but you don't see them as naughty children. You just see that, well, I've got one sister, she's after me, and then I've got 6 brothers. And they were just lovely little boys. And you see boys today, some of them are a little bit too rough with each other, but my brothers were just so good with each other. And I've got 2 brothers that are really, 3 of them, the last 3 of my brothers are my favourites.
Oh, okay.
And
you're not supposed to
only
have
because-
favourites.
I know, but because the bigger ones were sort of my age.
Right.
And they were the ones that sort of giving me the sort of sass.
Yeah.
But the younger ones were always, they were just so lovely because I'd come home, and when you grow up with a big family, you don't have lots of ice cream and special things like that. So I used to buy ice creams on paydays and bring them home to my little brothers. And it was so lovely, the 3 little boys. It was so good.
Yeah. So you really have been an acts of service person your whole life then, it sounds like.
Yes.
Yeah. So what age were you, can I ask, when you met Miranda's dad, Tony?
Oh, I must have been 18.
Yeah, wow.
So this year we celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary.
Yeah. How did you meet and how did you know this was the guy for you?
Oh, well, we worked in the same building.
Uh-huh.
And same old story, get in the lift and he asked me my name and I just thought my mother told me not to speak to strangers. I don't know this man anyway. I told him my name and we just became friends, yeah.
Yeah.
No, can I correct this?
Please.
Okay. So, yes, it's true. They did work in the same building. But he kept pretending to like go to the wrong floor, and it was just to see Mum. And now, see, Mum would often give me a hard time. I was a jeans and like t-shirt kind of kid, you know. But my high school often had strict rules on clothing, and since Mum worked there, she would often like ride me hard for like, certain tops, certain skirts, that I would wear. And then I found out that Miss May would wear like these tiny short skirts to her office. And I'm like, what is this, Barbara?
That was the fashion then in the 70s.
It was the fashion in my time too, Barbara.
No, that was a little bit more.
Yes. No. There's a double standard there. There's a double standard. And all the response I got was, don't do as I do as I say.
Yes. Yeah.
But when I found that out from Tone, well,
We've got to have a word here.
the hypocrisy.
Oh, well, that's lovely. So, okay, so you met at workplace romance. He got off on the wrong floor a few times. When did Miranda come along and what was the conversation around having children for you guys?
Well, when you're the eldest of 8, you just want your freedom. you know, because you're looking after children and you wanted your freedom. I had a job, I had good money, you know, and you wanted to do things with your friends. And so when Tony and I were married, it was just so lovely to do things together and not be caught up with children. But, you know, I thought, oh, well, may as well just have one child and see what happens. But, yeah.
Well, you lucked out, obviously, with Miranda, right? Why mess with perfection?
But, you know, like after that, because I had a serious medical condition, I had placenta previa and I lost a litre of half of blood. So I went from this colour to grey.
Oh, my gosh.
And my brain never clicked in after that. Really? To have children. So.
Yeah, well, I can understand why. Far out.
But also you were it was very unusual for your generation to hold off on having kids. A lot of cousins and friends your age were having children almost straight away, like in their 20s, like once they were married.
Because I had Miranda at 32, so
yeah.
A little bit later than my friends and cousins.
Yeah. And so in some ways, like, that kind of took the pressure off me, I guess, to think about children and marriage. I felt like I was given the permission to choose my career in my 20s because you know, my dad was so career oriented and also Mum showed me as well that your family didn't just end at your household, you know. It was so because Mum got school holidays, all my cousins would end up at my house. And it was the same with kids down the street too. They were just like, oh, I want to get away from my annoying siblings. I'm going to go to Miranda's house where it's quiet, where I know there's going to be lots of like great food and all the toys, you know. And yeah, so when I finally decided that I was ready and wanted children, I felt that I could, you know, sort of bring in a village basically because Mum established that.
Yeah.
Well, it was great because we lived in Kakadu National Park and everybody just knew each other. And so the houses had, behind the backyards of all the houses, had a bike path and a gate to everyone's garden. So the kids could ride their bikes and all join up and ride to school together. And so it's a beautiful and, you know, environment for children to grow up in.
That must have been such an idyllic way to raise a family and to be there as a young kid as well. Absolutely.
It was definitely a culture shock moving to Sydney at 18.
Yeah.
Because I realised with family and friends in Sydney, I did have to ring ahead. I couldn't just rock up and knock on the door, you know, which is very country Australia to do that.
Coming up, a big move for Miranda and the hard lessons she learnt in Sydney as she went after her acting dreams. Hey guys, I want to throw a few numbers at you. The first one is 1 in 20. That's how many households in Australia have at least one person who has served our country. And chances are that could be your sister, your dad, your housemate, your neighbour, your partner, your friend. It could be you. And for many of those who have served, that service has had a long-lasting impact. Because the next number I have for you is 3. In 2023, 3 veterans died every 2 weeks by suicide. And that is a leading cause of death for ex-serving ADF members. I've got one more number, 1,555. That's how many Australian veterans were homeless on any given night during the 2021 census. So why am I telling you all of this? It's because you can do something to help put an end to these devastating numbers. Wounded Heroes Australia is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week crisis service that's there any time of the day and night to answer the calls of veterans and their families in crisis and offer them an immediate lifeline. But they need your help to keep this going. Whether it's as little as $1 or even more, every donation from you can help to save the life of a veteran who dedicated theirs to protecting ours. Head to woundedheroes.org.au to make a real difference. Thank you. I like that what you said, that family doesn't stop at your front door. Maybe I'm paraphrasing you now, but that idea that family extends well beyond what's within your household, because I think that is the same for people with chosen family as well. That idea that, like, we do need a village to raise our kids and to have those relationships. A great way of looking at life.
Well, for instance, like my mum and dad live with me because my job just doesn't allow for like, I can't just say, oh, okay, can we wrap things up? I've got to pick the kids up from daycare, like my wrap time is whenever the schedule says. I don't have a what's the word?
Set time.
I don't have a 9-to-5 job.
That's the word, yeah.
And my husband doesn't either. So, we do have to rely on the village.
Back to Kakadu, you're a little kid. You mentioned before your mum worked at your school. What was your role at the school?
I was the Indigenous support officer. So I had to do home visits, take kids to the clinic, have a breakfast program, feed the kids, and have a lunch program. So I organised all that. And then we had a literacy class, with ESL class. I'd work with the ESL teacher. And then we had a language program, so I work in the classroom with the teachers. So, I loved it.
What led you to that particular path?
Well, husband Tony got a job in Jabiru, and so we went from Darwin to Jabiru, and so I was unemployed, and I've left a job in Darwin with the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island Commission, ATSIC, and so I came to Jabiru and I didn't have a job, and I thought, oh, well, what am I doing? I can't just sit down home and not do anything. And I went to the school and just offered helping out with Miranda's class, doing reading, everyday reading program. And then I got offered a job in the school. So, I loved it.
Yeah. That must have been so – I always think it must have been awful to you, but I know that you've always said, like, you took a lot of pride in the fact that your mum did this role. Like, I'm just trying to envision my mum being at my school every day. It would have driven me crazy. Can you tell me, like, what that was like for you and why it was such a special thing?
Oh, I want to be clear right now. I could not get away with anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that just sort of was my whole school life. Teachers coming up to my mother and saying, hey, Miranda hasn't handed this in, or, and so, like, God forbid if I wagged, like, I wasn't even game to try that. So, couldn't get away with anything. But what is really, really beautiful about Mum's influence at the school, because sadly that position doesn't exist anymore in the territory, and I think they're called AEOs in New South Wales, the Aboriginal Education Officer. I'm not sure they exist now, but I just saw how invaluable that position was for the Indigenous and, like, for the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students at the school, because, these kids may not have had the support at home to get through school, and so Mum was that support. You went to a wedding in Samoa because the bride was supported by mum when she was going through
High school.
year 11 and 12
Wow.
and was having a tough time. And so mum just was like, no, like, I need you to get over the line, and like, we're going to do whatever it takes, you know?
That's so fantastic.
And so and my husband James jokes that mum's a bigger celebrity in Darwin than me because of like what she's done
Yeah.
for the students that went through Darwin High School.
Wow. Because for you, Barbara, like, again, you're one of 8, and so I'm imagining there wasn't always a lot of support for you at home because, you know, when you've got 8 kids, how are you supposed to divvy up that time? Like, what was your own schooling like, and what was is that what sort
Well,
of—
it was really hard because having all those children, only my father was working. Oh, no, sorry, my father and my mother. But my father would work in the daytime. He was a wharfie, and my mother would be a cleaner. So as soon as I came home, I would look after the kids, and then mum would go and do cleaning at the school. So I'd look after the kids and feed them and bath them and with my sister. So it was really hard because, you know, we just didn't have money. But also we didn't have a car. So if I missed the school bus, I'd have to walk to school. So that was a couple of kilometres away. And we didn't have money for lunch. So we'd go to school, have our porridge and come home in the afternoon, and that's all we had for the day, but we'd have something at night. So I never had lunch or even lunch money. And I wasn't allowed to go out because we didn't have money. But even just going out with my friends, it was really strict. I had strict parents.
Right.
And
Well, they were depending on you.
And plus I had cousins who were having babies at young ages,
Yeah.
you know, and my mother didn't want that,
Yeah.
or my father. But it was really hard just growing up. And then when I did have my own money and independence and I could say, I'm working, I'm going out,
Yeah.
I could do it.
Yeah.
But before that, it was just so hard.
Yeah.
You know, like I had to, in my last year at year 11, I made my school uniform, my sister and I had to come home every day and wash that uniform, and it made it to the end of that year.
Wow.
Wash it, hang it out and put it on the next day.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's all past. But I had a good life.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
I'm not sad about it.
Yeah.
It gave me good skills and appreciation of how families are and everything like that, and the love for your own siblings, you know. It was just so lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously it's led you on to pay things back for a whole new generation of kids and to raise Miranda with that attitude as well.
But also too, my mum and dad, when we came in from Jabiru, we bought a house and my mum and dad came and lived with us. And so they would pick up Miranda because Tony and I both had government jobs and we'd work from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So Nan and Pop was there for Miranda. They would pick her up and feed her and bath her and she'd be ready. And we'd walk up we walk into our house and dinner was ready for us. So having my parents there was just a great life, you know.
That was so lovely. Like, so how was that for you living with your grandparents, Miranda? Like, what was that like for you as a kid?
Oh, it was lovely.
Yeah.
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 No, my grandparents were always just so good to me. My pop was just so affectionate and thoughtful. My nana was the one who was like making sure that, you know, I'd get in the bath and, you know, get dressed into my pajamas and be ready. And her cooking was always fantastic. So yeah, no, I have wonderful memories of fond memories of my grandparents looking after me. I even remember at one point I was
You did a dance for Pop in the hospital.
It was for his birthday actually.
That's right, yeah.
Aladdin had just come out. So the song Friend Like Me was like I had on repeat. I became obsessed with that song and I just started tap dancing.
What age were you at this point?
I was 4.5, 5.
Okay.
So I got over the fact that there wasn't ballet in Jabberoo. There was only tap dancing. And like I'd gotten really good at it. So I was like, okay, this is Pop's birthday present. I rehearsed the hell out of it. And I performed like a choreographed dance to A Friend Like Me. And that was the beginning of my poor parents being subjected to like hundreds of
I love that.
lounge room performances.
The performing gene was strong. So was this a regular occurrence in Barbara as Miranda
yes.
putting on acts for you? I love that.
But see, that's what was so wonderful about growing up with my parents was that there was never acting's not, you know, it's not a job, it's a hobby. I was never told that. They were like, okay, you can go for it, but, you know, you have to think of an alternative if it's not panning out, you know, but give it a good crack. And it was the same as year 12. Mum was, because I was often, I loved daydreaming in class. And the teacher at one point, another English teacher, pulled Mum in for an interview to say, yeah, she loves drawing in her margins. She loves like scribbling, like making little notes or little, little cartoons, comic strips. She needs to really be thinking about To Kill a Mockingbird. So Mum's just like, look, you're clearly not going to be a doctor, like you don't want to be a doctor. So look, please just pass, just please turn up every day, give it a go, even when it's hard. So when I was 18, I was lucky enough to be accepted into the National Institute of Dramatic Art. So roughly about a year and a half after I graduated from high school. Not a whole lot of time to get life experience. A lot of people in my year had gone overseas, done other degrees, fallen in and out of love, worked different jobs, and I was just completely, Bambi in a cement forest. And it was quite it's quite a different school now.
Because they have all the support for those Indigenous students.
Like it's
you didn't have that.
Yeah, a guy that I went to drama school with, he and I were the only brown people in the class. And I'd come from the territory. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was just left behind, basically. The first 2 years of my degree, in a 3-year degree, I was on probation.
Right.
And not because of an attitude problem, like I just had to work twice as hard.
Yeah.
But even just coming from home, from Darwin to a big city.
Learning
all that.
And I guess there was just an attitude across the board that this is even playing field here. Like you are treated like anyone else.
Right.
And so I was saying to Mum, like, I'm not coping here. I'm on the chopping block. I'm really struggling with the essays, the practical things where the performances I need to do. So Mum actually left her job.
I took leave without pay.
Without pay for a year.
Wow.
To live with me.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so cool.
I was eating terribly, so Mum would be making sure I was eating right, and it was just so so lovely.
Coming up, Miranda and Barbara reflect on love coming full circle and the lessons that are now being passed to a whole new generation. Confession time, guys. I'm really lazy when it comes to my skincare routine. To be honest, I'm lucky if I remember to wash my face at night and don't even go into applying all those different steps of toners, serums, creams, all the different things. It's why Vixen's all-in-one moisturiser was such a game changer for me when I came across it last year. Just one step, done. But I found a new secret weapon and it's become just as easy to add into my lazy girl routine. Vixen's Shake to Activate Super Vita Serum is lightweight, it smells divine, and it's really good for hydration. And I've got super dry skin, so that's been really great for me. All you need to do is just shake the bottle, apply a couple of drops to your face, and then whack on that moisturiser. And literally, what could be simpler than that? I'll let you in on another secret. If you go to vixen.com.au to purchase now, just add in the code LOVESTORIES, that's Love Stories, all one word, at checkout, and you'll get an extra 30% off. You're welcome. You know, in the times we've spoken over the years, I feel like, Barbara, you've become almost like this mythical person in my mind, because every time we speak, you tell me little bits of wisdom that your mum's given you or bits of advice, and especially around being Indigenous and how, you know, your work ethic has been instilled in you. So I guess, yeah, for people listening in at home who haven't been as privy to as many of these conversations I've been, can you tell me a little bit about how your mum has guided you through that as an Indigenous woman in a world that is not always, I guess, you know, put on an even playing field?
I guess like the main things that I noticed where we really that we really had to be aware of being different, I guess, was I think we were looking for a rental for the two of us to live in. For that my third year of school, of drama school. And Mum was like, you need to put your Sunday best on. You need to wear perfume. You need to wear makeup. And it's one of those things that I've always witnessed Mum doing. Even just going up to the shop, you know, Mum would always wear like a nice dress and, you know, pearl earrings and, you know, and Mum was like, you don't understand. If you want to rent in Sydney, you absolutely like have to look like you're not going to trash the place. Also, you're not only are you black, you're a student. You know?
Well, I was about to say, I feel like that's the
and you're trying to rent in the eastern suburbs, you know. So, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, like I really have to, because I was a salt of the earth kind of girl, you know. I didn't really straighten my hair. I didn't really bother with makeup unless I was going on stage. So, you know, I've only sort of started to, in my 30s, started to really think about how to put myself together. Yeah, but it was all because of Mum making me think about all that sort of stuff, like perception.
Yeah. And I think as well there's something you said to me once about, you know, you've got to work. You can't be late. You've got to, you know, it's like in a way that maybe other of your girlfriends might be. Like, what are some of the other lessons that your mum gave you just in terms of work ethic and that kind of stuff?
Well, you're just not given the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
You know? If you are late, it's not because of just, you know, traffic or, you know, or just human error. It is, you know, it's inherently because you're lazy and you don't have that work ethic, you know. So I think it's taken me a really long time to just learn how to be kind to myself and go, it's okay to make these mistakes. It's okay to it's okay to text someone and say I'm running 10 minutes late. It's okay but it was really drilled into me to show up and, be 10 times as better as the other person in the room.
Have you felt that pressure, Barbara, throughout your life?
Well, we grew up with that.
Yeah.
Being Aboriginal people and the expectation of us as an Aboriginal person going to wherever, you had to make sure that you were well dressed or you were on time. So, and my parents grew up with that because of the policies that was surrounding Aboriginal people.
Well, your house got routinely inspected, didn't it, on its cleanliness? And
when we were growing up, our house, we moved into a really brand new house, and my mother had to learn they had classes where she had to learn to clean her oven, whatever, and floors. But my grandmother was a domestic servant for Vestes Meatworks, So we had all that in our whatever genes or whatever. We grew up with that. My grandmother cooked and cleaned for white people. And so my mother learned all that from her mother and it was instilled in us. But because before our parents could move into a house, my mother had to prove that she could do all this to be eligible for a brand new house. And it would be inspected regularly.
Yeah.
So.
And you do stress out when the pillow slips don't match the quilt and
shh. Yeah, so
it's a genuine fear, you know. There were good things that came out of it as well in terms of Mum saying, it is possible for you to move to Sydney. She was the one that was signing me up to NIDA short courses and because Mum didn't get all of these opportunities given to her as a young person, she's like, well, you're allowed to live the life that you want to live.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that with my children. Although my 4-year-old she got a hairbrush recently. And she was making her brother laugh, her 10-month-old brother laugh, and then all of a sudden she grabs a hairbrush, stands on her bed, and she goes, "Are you ready to be entertained?" And I have no idea where she got that from.
Oh my gosh!
Obviously, I'm her mother. I know where she got it from. Yeah. But at the same time, I was like, oh, no.
She's channeling that very first performance.
There was one half pride and one half dread. I'm like, no. You have to be an engineer. You have to be
a doctor.
You might need
something that's not creative.
You might need to take a leaf out of Barbara's book and say, it's okay. Just, do the best you can. Work hard at this thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, look at this game called Operation.
Here's a little doctor set.
Look at this doctor set. Look at this Lego.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Aren't we having fun? I'm really happy to let you know you haven't heard the end of this Love Stories conversation with Miranda Tapsell and her mum Barbara. There's so much great stuff to talk about that we've got a part 2 of this, and you will find it wherever you're listening or watching right now. So I'll see you again soon. This episode is supported by Vixen, Australian-made skincare powered by plant cell technology and designed to bring real simplicity back to skincare. This episode is made in partnership with Wounded Heroes Australia, the only 24-hour, 7-day-a-week crisis service that helps veterans and their families in their hardest moments.
This is an R Media podcast.